Good morning, afternoon. There's a moment after no contact, a quiet moment where we stand on the edge of uncertainty, wondering what to do next. It feels like a chess game, doesn't it? We think about the move that will change the game. But what if the most unexpected move is not a strategy at all? Vulnerability is often misunderstood. For many of us, it feels like a weakness and exposure of our deepest fears, insecurities, and emotions. Society teaches us to shield ourselves, to appear invincible, to never let anyone see us falter. But here's the truth: vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the purest form of strength. Think about it. Vulnerability is stepping into the unknown without guarantees. It's having the courage to show up as your authentic self, even when there's no promise of approval or acceptance. That takes incredible bravery. It's easy to wear a mask, to hide behind defenses, to retreat into the safety of pretending you don't care. But vulnerability, that requires standing in the face of uncertainty and saying, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." After a period of no contact, vulnerability may feel especially daunting. You've worked hard to protect yourself, to heal, to create distance. Now, the thought of opening up, even to yourself, might seem counterintuitive. But here's where the unexpected power of vulnerability comes in. When you embrace it, you stop fighting the battle of proving yourself to others. Instead, you start proving something to yourself, that you are enough just as you are. Vulnerability allows you to own your story without shame. It's the bridge between where you've been and where you want to go. By leaning into your emotions, whether it's fear, sadness, or hope, you gain clarity. You start to understand what truly matters to you and why. More importantly, you realize that being open about your experiences doesn't make you weaker, it makes you human. In the context of relationships, romantic, familiar, or otherwise, vulnerability is the key to authentic connection. Without it, relationships become transactional, a game of give and take without depth. Vulnerability, however, says, "I'm willing to be seen, to risk being hurt because I value this connection." But here's the twist: after no contact, the connection you're rebuilding isn't necessarily with someone else, it's with yourself. When you allow yourself to feel, to reflect, and to process, you tap into a well of inner strength. You begin to trust yourself again. You no longer need to project an image of perfection or pretend that you're unaffected. Instead, you reclaim your power by being unapologetically real. The irony is that vulnerability, which many perceive as risky, is the safest path to growth. When you own your vulnerability, no one can use it against you. It becomes a source of empowerment rather than fear. You're no longer held hostage by the opinions or actions of others because you've made peace with yourself. In moments when vulnerability feels overwhelming, remember this: the greatest stories of courage and resilience are rooted in the willingness to be vulnerable. Whether it's a leap of faith, a heartfelt conversation, or a quiet moment of self-reflection, vulnerability transforms fear into freedom. It's not the easy choice, but it's the choice that leads to authenticity, growth, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. At the core of every meaningful transformation, every act of resilience, and every moment of personal growth lies one essential truth: your self-worth is the foundation of it all. Without a strong sense of self-worth, it's easy to feel like you're building your life on shaky ground, where external validation becomes the measure of your value. But when you cultivate a deep and unshakable belief in your own worth, you create a foundation so strong that no external force can topple it. Self-worth is not about arrogance or self-importance. It's not about comparing yourself to others or proving that you're better. True self-worth is quiet but powerful. It's the knowledge that you are inherently valuable, not because of your achievements, your appearance, or your relationships, but simply because you exist. For many of us, self-worth doesn't come easily. It's often buried beneath layers of doubt, fear, and the voices of others who told us, directly or indirectly, that we weren't enough. Perhaps someone made you feel small, or maybe life's challenges chipped away at your confidence. Whatever the reason, rebuilding your self-worth can feel like an uphill climb, but it's a climb worth making. After a period of no contact, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or even a family member, your self-worth becomes more important than ever. The space created by no contact can feel disorienting at first. You might question your decisions, replay old conversations, or wonder what they think of you. But this is also an incredible opportunity, a chance to rediscover your value outside of anyone else's opinion. Self-worth begins with self-awareness. Take time to reflect on who you are beyond the roles you've played in relationships. What are your strengths, your passions, your dreams, your passions, your joy and fulfillment? When you start to focus on these questions, you begin to see yourself as a whole person rather than someone defined by the approval of others. Another crucial aspect of self-worth is self-compassion. We're often our own harshest critics, quick to judge ourselves for mistakes or perceived failures. But true self-worth involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a dear friend. It's about recognizing that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. Boundaries also play a vital role in building self-worth. When you value yourself, you're willing to set boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. This can mean saying no to people or situations that drain you, or walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. Boundaries are not a sign of selfishness. They're a declaration of your self-respect. One of the most liberating truths about self-worth is that it doesn't depend on anyone else. It's not something someone else can give you, and it's not something they can take away. It's yours to claim and nurture. When you stop seeking validation from others and start affirming your own value, you free yourself from the need to prove anything to anyone. Building self-worth doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires patience and persistence. But every step you take brings you closer to a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. You'll find that when you believe in your own worth, you're no longer willing to settle for relationships that drain you, for opportunities that don't excite you, or for a life that doesn't align with your true self. Self-worth is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's the key to standing tall in your decisions, owning your story, and creating a life that reflects your deepest values. It's what allows you to walk away when something isn't right, and to walk confidently toward what you truly deserve. In a world that often rewards appearances and clever tactics, choosing authenticity over strategy can feel counterintuitive. We're conditioned to believe that success, especially in relationships or personal interactions, depends on calculated moves, curated personas, and carefully planned responses. But the truth is, no strategy can ever be as impactful or fulfilling as being your authentic self. Authenticity is about showing up as you truly are without pretense or manipulation. It's the courage to embrace your imperfections, values, and unique qualities, and to let them guide your actions and decisions. In contrast, strategies often rely on external goals, seeking approval, winning favor, or controlling outcomes. While these tactics might yield short-term results, they rarely lead to genuine connection or lasting fulfillment. After a period of no contact, the temptation to strategize can be strong. You might think, what can I do to make them notice me? What's the best way to get a response? But here's the thing, when you rely on strategy, you're placing your power in someone else's hands. You're shaping your actions around their potential reactions instead of staying true to yourself. Authenticity, on the other hand, is about reclaiming your power. It's about deciding that your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinion or response. It comes from within. Being authentic requires self-awareness. It starts with asking yourself some honest questions. Who am I when I'm not trying to impress anyone? What do I value most in myself and others? What kind of life do I want to create? These questions help you connect with your core identity, stripping away the need for facades or performances. Authenticity also demands vulnerability. It means letting people see the real you, the messy, complicated, beautiful human behind the polished exterior. This can feel risky, especially if you've been hurt before, but the irony is that the very thing we fear being seen as we truly are is what creates the deepest connections. When you're authentic, you invite others to connect with you on a genuine level, not just with the version of you they think they want. Another powerful aspect of authenticity is that it's unpredictable. Strategies are often predictable because they're based on patterns of behavior or societal norms. Authenticity, however, breaks the mold. When you act from a place of truth rather than tactics, you surprise not only others, but often yourself. This unpredictability is what makes authenticity so impactful it can't be anticipated or controlled by anyone else. Choosing authenticity over strategy doesn't mean abandoning thoughtfulness or care in your actions. It's not about saying whatever comes to mind or disregarding others' feelings. Instead, it's about aligning your words and actions with your values and intentions. It's about showing up with integrity and being willing to let the outcome unfold naturally, trusting that the right people and opportunities will align with your truth. Authenticity is also liberating. When you stop trying to play a role or live up to others' expectations, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and perfectionism. You no longer feel the need to constantly prove yourself because you know that who you are is enough. This freedom allows you to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and your purpose. In relationships, authenticity sets the tone for mutual respect and trust. When you're honest about your feelings, boundaries, and desires, you create a space where others feel safe to do the same. This doesn't mean everyone will respond positively. Some people may resist or reject your authenticity, but that's okay. Authenticity acts as a filter, attracting those who align with your values and repelling those who don't. Ultimately, authenticity over strategy is about living a life that feels true, not just impressive. It's about letting go of the need to control outcomes and embracing the beauty of being unapologetically yourself. When you choose authenticity, you step into a life of deeper connection, greater fulfillment, and lasting inner peace. Letting go of the outcome is one of the most challenging yet liberating shifts we can make in life. It means releasing the need to control how things unfold and finding peace in the present moment, regardless of what lies ahead. This concept can feel counterintuitive in a world that prizes results and rewards achievement. We're often taught to focus on the end game, to set goals, strategize, and measure success by outcomes. But what if the real success lies not in controlling the destination, but in embracing the journey? Letting go of the outcome doesn't mean giving up or being passive. On the contrary, it's about fully engaging with life, putting forth your best effort, and then trusting that whatever happens will ultimately serve your growth and well-being. It's the understanding that while you can control your actions and intentions, you cannot control how others respond or how events unfold. This mindset is rooted in the wisdom of surrender, not as an act of defeat, but as an act of faith and self-trust. After a period of no contact, the urge to focus on the outcome can feel overwhelming. You might find yourself obsessing over questions like, will they come back? Will they notice I've changed? Will I get closure? These thoughts are natural, but they also keep you tethered to a need for external validation. Letting go of the outcome means shifting your focus inward, from seeking answers outside of yourself to finding peace within. One of the most profound aspects of letting go is the freedom it brings. When you release the need to control outcomes, you free yourself from the anxiety and fear of what if. You stop living in the future, constantly worrying about how things will turn out, and instead anchor yourself in the present moment. This doesn't mean you stop caring or dreaming. It means you stop attaching your happiness or self-worth to specific results. Letting go of the outcome also requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust that life has a way of working things out, even if it's not in the way you expected. This trust isn't always easy, especially if you face disappointment or loss, but it's in those moments of uncertainty that letting go becomes most powerful. By releasing your grip on what should happen, you open yourself to possibilities you might never have considered. The process of letting go starts with awareness. Notice when your thoughts are fixated on a specific outcome. Are you replaying scenarios in your mind? Are you attaching your sense of worth or success to a particular result? Once you're aware of these patterns, you can begin to gently shift your focus. Instead of asking, how can I make this happen? Try asking, what can I do right now that aligns with my values and brings me peace? Another key to letting go is gratitude. Gratitude roots you in the present moment.